phone constitutes consent and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Good evening, everybody. It's another wonderful Friday night. I'd like to welcome everyone to another exciting Friday night edition of the Grand Jury. Game show style, folks. Lights, camera, reasonable standard action. I'm your co-host and your bailiff, Big Ron, bringing the energy like I do every week. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's meet our distinguished guests for tonight's episode, the 5 volunteers that have bravely stepped up to serve as our mock grand jury. And our first guest tonight will be Steve. Steve, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
We can. You're coming in great, Steve.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a former intelligence officer. I served as 21 years in the government services between contracting and government intelligence agencies and so forth. So that's who I am. And obviously, everybody knows who I am on X. If you don't know, it's Aladdin 1983. I do a lot of exposés on government funding fraud and so forth. So that's who I am. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Steve. Thanks for coming. Him and I have had some conversation. Interesting guy to talk to. A lot of good stories. If you get a chance, hit him up. Make sure you follow him. Next person we've got coming up for tonight is Mimi. Mimi, welcome to the show.
Hey, how is everybody tonight? Thank you for the invite. I'm just a former flight attendant, decades in the airline industry. Gosh, there's just so much to say about that. We have situational awareness. We're trained in everything from hand-to-hand combat to bombs and saving our passengers and saving our planes. That's pretty much what I did until I retired. And here I am.
That is phenomenal. And I'm sure you've got some phenomenal stories. Everybody make sure you hit her up. You know, I've talked to some stewardess over the years, and they've got great stories. Our next person coming to the stage tonight is going to be Star Soup. Star Soup, welcome.
Hey there, hey there. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming to the show. We appreciate it.
I'm just a regular Joe, regular job, and excited to see what we're looking at.
Bootlicker.
It's going to be a great show tonight. And the next person we have coming up is going to be Amy. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great evening, ready for this to go. I actually wanted to come, and I'm excited because I got jury duty twice this year, and I got dismissed both times. So I love watching cop shows and arrests. So I'm in for it. Let's go, everybody. And I'm from Florida, so we know that we're happy here.
Outstanding. I love Florida. It's my home state. And last but not least, Brian, thank you for coming tonight. You there, Brian? All right. We're going to go ahead and move on. And everybody knows that I can't do this job by myself. I do a lot of work on the front, and then I've got my buddy Bruce Wayne, who does a lot of work on the back. Bruce, are you with us tonight? Can you hear us?
Got you loud and clear, Ron. Pleasure to be here.
Outstanding. All right, folks, give everybody a round of applause. Folks, these are real people from X community, ready to watch the real world body cam and dash cam footage, hear the context, and vote reasonable or unreasonable. We'll go case by case, play the videos, discuss the key moments, and poll the jury one by one, starting with guest number 1 all the way down the line. Joe will guide us through the evidence, break down the law, and give us things and to keep us things moving. And like any good courtroom drama, we start with a classic intro. All rise. The Honorable Mock Grand Jury is now in session. The bailiff will now swear in the panel of 5 everyday heroes from X. Do you solemnly swear to judge these police use of force videos based solely on the facts, the footage, and what reasonable officers would do under these circumstances without bias, without hindsight, and with the spirit of Graham versus Connor in mind? Say I do if you're ready to go.
I do.
I do.
Outstanding. And with that being said, like I always say every weekend, folks, the cigar is lit, the bourbon is cold, the jury's in their seats, the videos are loaded, my clock is ready. Everybody, don't forget to give us a like and a share. Post this to all your friends. And with that being said, Joe, the floor is yours. Let's take it away.
Appreciate you, Big Ron. Welcome back for another live grand jury tonight. Let's get our our expert witness on the stage, Big Jason. Jason, as always, is our expert witness. He is the 30-year veteran Minnesota law enforcement. He's also the developer of the 3D school safety system. Jason, introduce yourself to the folks.
You kind of summed it up. Over the course of my career, I've done school resource officer, undercover narcotics investigations, kind of the gauntlet in law enforcement, sergeant, lieutenant. That's kind of me. Started 3D Response 10 years ago and installed in multiple schools in Minnesota. And my goal now is to just keep pushing that out.
Glad to have you, as we do every Friday night, Jason. All right, folks, let's get into it. Let's get into some jury instructions, what we're here to do tonight. We're going to review 5 cases of police use of force tonight. Some will be deadly force, some will be less than deadly force, but force nonetheless. We ask, just like any jury, whether it be a trial jury or a grand jury, you're standing in a mock role of a grand jury tonight. We ask that our juries use the reasonable person standard. And you say, what is a reasonable person? A reasonable person is a legal term, referring to a hypothetical construct of a reasonable, prudent person. It's not the smartest guy in the room, and it's not the dumbest guy in the room. But the reasonable person is not asking, what would you do? It's a hypothetical situation on reasonableness is what we're looking at tonight. And we'll go, and it changes a little bit from case to case, but I'll guide you through that. Now, unlike a trial jury, a grand jury only needs to be convinced of probable cause, which is more likely than not. And I say a trial jury. Most of us have seen trial juries on television and in movies. You may have even been a juror and experienced this in real time. But a trial jury for a criminal offense needs to be convinced of beyond a reasonable doubt. And beyond a reasonable doubt is a pretty high standard. It's a little different than probable cause. It's a lot different than probable cause. Beyond a reasonable doubt means that no matter what decision you make, when you go to sleep at night, you will be satisfied with the decision that you made because you had no doubt in your mind. So those are the 2 things that we need to keep in mind tonight: the reasonable person, and that you need to be convinced more likely than not that the force was reasonable or not reasonable. Now let's talk about force. Deadly force and force in general is only justified when a reasonable person would believe, given the same information available, that the deadly force or force was necessary in self-defense or defense of a third person. So we can't use deadly force to stop someone from escaping, right? The stop and I shoot, that's really just a threat. You can't legally do that. The standard for a law enforcement officer is the same standard it is for us as civilians, as we call our citizens. Civilians is not necessarily a true term, but citizens. If you use deadly force, a grand jury and a jury, maybe subsequently a jury, is going to judge you in the standard, more or less, than what I just gave you, a reasonable person standard, not what they would do. What a reasonable person would believe is what we're asking tonight. Not what would you do? What would a reasonable person believe, given the same set of circumstances and information known to the actor? In this case, will be law enforcement. The actor will be law enforcement tonight. What would you do in these situations, or what was their fear reasonable or not? A jury may have one of 2 findings tonight. The force was reasonable or it was not reasonable. Real simple. It was reasonable or not. Unlike a trial jury where you need a unanimous decision, which all members must agree, we don't have to do that on a grand jury. And this is true for, I think, grand juries throughout the United States. We have 5 members, 3 out of 5 majority votes will win the day. With 3 out of 5 votes wins the day. It's a majority decision. But you also, I'm going to put you on, this is where it gets like a game show. We're going to put you on a 10-minute decision to see that. So here are your instructions. We ask that you only consider the evidence presented in each case. Don't bring in things that you saw. I saw this video where someone gave a comment on X somewhere, or I saw a traffic stop the other day and this is similar. That's not what we ask. We ask our jurors across this nation, and we as citizens have this right. Only consider the evidence that the state's bringing tonight. So we ask that you only consider the cases tonight with the evidence that's presented tonight. Make a decision if fear was reasonable or not, using the reasonable person standard and at the standard, at the probable cause standard of consideration. Do we have any questions at this point? Silence is going once. Silence is going twice. Big Ron. Actually, before we do, Ron, can you give me a mic check? I didn't hear you before.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Greatly appreciate it.
There we
Excited to
go.
be here.
We've got my Brian up with no questions, folks. Big Ron, first case.
First case coming up, guys. It's always the easiest.
On August 29th, 2025, at about 4 p.m., officers with the Escondido Police Department located 40-year-old Maria Tate driving a vehicle at Bear Valley Parkway and Oak Hill Drive. Tate was wanted on outstanding warrants for burglary and felony vehicle evasion. The officers attempted to stop Tate, but she fled, leading officers on a pursuit through Escondido for more than 15 minutes before entering southbound Interstate 15. Tate continued to flee at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour. At one point, Tate called 911 and spoke to a dispatcher with the California Highway Patrol. She stated that she would not be taken alive. She further told the dispatcher she had a gun in the vehicle and she would shoot.
No, an emergency, what are reporting?
Hi, so I have these cops chasing me, right behind me in Escondido, and tell them they're going to have to take me out in a body bag if I'm not going alive.
Okay,
Tell them that, okay?
you should probably pull over. Where are you right now? What street are you
What?
on? What street are you on?
I don't know, I'm on the freeway, but I want to make sure my dog got safely there to the house. I dropped him off, but I don't want one of those stupid cops driving over. Can you see if my dog got there safely? Can I give you the number to call? Make sure my dog got there safely?
What's your number?
Okay, it's 302. Hold on, I gotta get it. Can you tell the cops to back off? I have a gun and I will shoot.
This information was disseminated to pursuing officers. In the area of University Avenue and Interstate 15 in San Diego, Tate began driving south in the northbound lanes of the freeway.
Yeah, let's drop out. She's in the wrong direction, southbound in the northbound lanes on the shoulder.
Freaking, all units have cut their code. We don't have logs on her. We're going to be in tracking mode with Abel, and we're going to be approaching the 94 West jump.
Officers terminated the pursuit while a San Diego Police Department helicopter continued to track her. A short time later, Tate returned to the correct lanes of travel, exited the freeway, and drove into a parking lot where officers responded.
And she's turning into a driveway here. It's going to be between Ridgehaven and Balboa on Ruffin.
As officers responded to the area, Tate fled again from them, entering and exiting the freeway several times.
16, we're pulling up now. Balboa and Ponderosa.
Yeah, she's back to Balboa, eastbound on Balboa. If you guys do a U-turn, she just passed you.
As she drove south, approaching the Interstate 15 and 163 split, Tate made a U-turn and again drove the wrong way toward oncoming traffic. An Escondido police sergeant attempted to block her path with his vehicle.
All right, TC, she would try to go back around wrong direction.
Tate maneuvered around the police vehicle and a collision occurred between Tate's vehicle and an uninvolved motorist traveling the opposite direction.
Listen to your fucking head! Listen to your head! Hey! Hey!
Officers removed Tate from the vehicle and rendered medical aid until paramedics arrived.
I got gloves, Lenny. Yep. All right, let's get a med kit. Yeah, trauma kit. Hey, med kit, trauma kit. Yeah, he's got one right there. What do you need?
She was taken to a San Diego hospital where she later died.
Okay, folks, there's your first case. Any questions in general on this case before we move any further?
I have a quick question. Obviously she said on the phone that she had a gun and she would use it. I didn't hear a shot from her though. Was it just in the midst of everything? Did she shoot, Joe?
We can go back and watch the video again, but there's no indication that she actually fired a shot. Would you like to see that portion of the video again?
Maybe a little bit, but I guess if all the shots are, well, let's just watch it and see. Thank you.
Paramedics arrive.
I got gloves, Lenny. Yep. All right, let's get a med kit. Yeah, trauma kit. Hey, med kit, trauma kit. Yeah, he's got one right there. What do you need?
She was taken to a San Diego hospital where she later died.
Let's go back a little further. I thought we were there.
Listen to her fucking head! Listen to her head! Hey!
So you get your first volley of shots fired by officers. She's still in the front passenger portion of the front seat passenger, front seat of the vehicle is what I'm trying to say. She'll go to the back seat here in a second, but that's the first iteration of shots by law enforcement.
Thank you.
Officer.
Okay, any other portion of the video we'd like to see, or is everyone pretty satisfied?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, Big Ron, put us on the clock. Oh, go ahead.
Actually, it seems like the guy from the vehicle that shot up the first shots from the vehicle, and you got the SWAT team coming in from the other side. It's basically like shooting at each other at the same time, kind of.
You're gonna hit him on a safety violation. Does that make any sense? Ask that again.
So you're looking at this shot right now. The guy from the police vehicle who shot at her with his pistol, and you'll see the other, like, basically SWAT team, or maybe like the other team, like from the other side of the vehicle. What happened to when the police start shooting at her? Where were these officers located at? Because they were approaching the vehicles from the other side, and the other guy starts shooting, so jeopardizing his own officers at that point.
Well, what you're seeing there, where the picture is frozen, this is after the shoot. This is where they're making the approach.
Oh, okay. So this is after the shooting.
But I mean, are you talking about crossfire? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, crossfire. Yeah, basically, exactly.
That's not really a jury's. That's not something we'd ask a jury. That would be a policy, maybe some training there. But I tell you what, let's put up a clock, Big Ron. We're gonna deliberate. Let's deliberate.
I got a quick question. What was the initial call for why they were pursuing?
She had an active warrant for burglary.
Okay, so nothing.
Yeah, she has a slew of things. I already made my decision.
We're not looking for a decision right now. Just hang tight. Let's go around round robin this. I tell you what. Let's go to. Let me get my names up here so I don't get messed up. Let's go to Brian. Brian, what's your initial impression on this?
Well, she called in, stated that she wasn't going to be taken alive. So odds are she's going to resist, or she's going to fight back until she's killed. So there shows a frame of mind or a mindset. One, she used her vehicle as kind of a weapon. So she's not stopping. She's not pulling over. She could be an immense danger to somebody else. She already ended up wrecking into somebody. And she wasn't compliant to the orders. So I think pretty much you're doing check that, she's put herself in a situation where they had to use some type of force, deadly force in this instance. I wouldn't as an officer walk up on that. So especially after they said that they're going to, go out dead and they're not going to be taken.
Okay, so you're leaning towards that any fear an officer said they had when they used deadly force would be reasonable?
Yes.
Okay, Star, what do you think?
So I think that because she put the officers in the situation of requiring them to stop her driving in the wrong lane of traffic, in oncoming lane, they had to pit her, which put them in a precarious position of using their vehicles to stop her, but then being in close proximity to her without control of the scene. She's moving around erratically. It's unfortunate that they still left their sirens on, so it might have been hard for her to hear instructions, but I think she heard them and she raised her hands, but then she starts reaching around in the back, hiding underneath a blanket, making furtive movements. I think a reasonable officer would have felt threatened enough to defend their life and the life of the other officers. I can surely believe that their use of force was reasonable. I don't know if I would have been the first officer to shoot in that situation with a person of the fairer sex, and that's obviously confused, but it is a very confusing and unfortunate situation all around.
So you're like Brian. You're leaning towards if the officer said, "I feared she had a handgun, we were in danger," you would say that's reasonable.
I think I would, yes.
Very good. Let's go to Mimi. Mimi, what's your first pick on this?
Well, my first pick is because of the pursuit of the phone call that she made to 911 and the chase and how many lives she endangered, and then to be enveloped by police. They're shouting, hands up, hands up. She did stick her hands up at first, but then she ducked down. My first thinking was, okay, she's looking for that gun. She wants to shoot back. And they took every precaution they could, I think, under the circumstances, not
Let
knowing.
me ask you this. What led you to she's looking for the gun to shoot back?
When she ducked down, because she had her hands up, she put them down, and it was almost like as if she was I don't think she was trying to protect her life, because she had already told them that she will go out. So
I
to
think that's
me,
human instinct, though.
well, but she had already said, I've got a gun. I'm going to use it. They're going to have to take me out.
So you're leaning like everyone so far. You're leaning towards it was reasonable.
Yeah, I think that her actions, just by, if you put your hands up and you're directed to put your hands up, you keep them up. No matter what you do, your hands are in the air.
So how does that lay into the standard that you can only use force if a reasonable person would believe that force was necessary to defend themselves or a third person?
I think the lead up to it was the lead up with the stop and the chase and the endangering other people, and the whole call with 911. And as my frame of mind is, all these officers trying to protect the public, they were unable to do so when they finally cornered her. Hands up, she puts them up, she goes down. The next reaction is, what is she going to do next? They're going to protect.
Let me get to Steve. We're going to be running out of time here.
Okay.
We can go long on the second round. So let me get everybody's first initial impression first. Steve, what's your initial impression on this? Oh, you're muted, my friend. I got you.
Sorry, it's a very reasonable use of force for a couple of reasons. One, because technically the police did not stop her. She crashed into another civilian vehicle when she tried to maneuver and going back and on the other side of the road, and another vehicle crashed. And the other thing, she technically did not raise her hand. That's a very natural reaction. Somebody, when they get into that particular situation, it was like, oh yeah, this, and they try to do other things. And when the police shot at her and start shooting the back window and making sure there's nobody else in the back, and I would have done the same exact thing. So
let me ask you this: do you think the officers shot into the back just to make sure no one else was back there?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, there's no indication.
Hang on, would that be reasonable if?
Yep. I would have done the same exact thing.
Can I finish my question?
Yeah.
Would you think it reasonable if I said as an officer I couldn't see in the back, so I shot a few rounds in there just to make sure no one was there?
No, he broke the window. And that's the best option for him, to shoot at the back window, to break the window, to make sure there's nobody else in the back.
What if there were a passenger back there no one knew about and they shot that person?
that would be that would be.
Hang on, let me finish my answer. And that person was shot in the ear. As a juror, would you be okay with that?
I would be. It depends on the situation at that point.
I mean, would that meet the criteria? You can use deadly force when a reasonable person believes their life's in danger?
I would. I've dealt with terrorism before, so I may look at this from a completely different perspective. So
now tactics is one thing, but here we have the law to deal with. But I tell you what, we're getting a little long on these. Let me go to who we've got left. Let's go to Amy. Amy, tell us what you think about this.
So I was thinking that lawfully, there's no case there. I just don't believe that. I believe that leading up to everything, by the conversation, by saying she dropped her dog off somewhere, and she was very, worried about her dog. She had something in her mind. I think she was under some kind of psychosis. I don't know what was going on with her. That's not my problem. But I'm just saying in general. But I think she honestly got startled when all the cops were coming at her, because she initially put her hands up, but then she was reaching, which is not smart, So I don't know if it doesn't matter what I think or feel. It matters that the cops did the right thing. They had all 100% accurate. They could have they shot her and they were allowed. That's what, I guess, I don't know what the rules are, but to me, it seems good to me, because it doesn't matter.
Let me be clear. The rules are simple. If a reasonable person would believe that there's a credible fear for their life or a third person's life or serious bodily injury, you may use deadly force to encounter that fear. That's what you're here to decide.
Yes. So I know my answer.
All right. I tell you what, let's get a vote. I'm coming back to you first, Brian. I just need a reasonable or not. What's your vote? Reasonable or not?
Reasonable.
Star, reasonable or not?
Reasonable. I think she had a long gun in the back.
Mimi, reasonable or not?
Absolutely reasonable.
Steve, you still on the fence on this one? Reasonable or not?
No, it's absolutely reasonable.
Very good, sir. And Amy, reasonable or not? You with us, Amy?
You guys there?
Yep, we're here. Reasonable or not? Amy, can you hear us? Amy once, Amy twice. A big run. I need to dip her down and see if she can get a reset on it. But we've got, what is that, 4 out of 5? That's enough for a verdict. Reasonable force was reasonable is what our jury says. Now, I believe we've got a ghost call. We've got a ghost juror on the line. Let's bring that guy up. Corey, are you with us?
I am here. We have safety swipe.
Safety swipe. Let's plug him in. Make sure his audio is turned down so we can get a feedback loop. Safety swipe, are you with us? Safety swipe going once. We can't hear him. I think I can hear him in the background. I tell you what, let's go to Jason while our phone producer gets that sorted out. Jason, what do you think about this one?
Based on information that the officers had and the comments she made from herself and putting the general public in danger, and then the affirmative movements that she provided to the officers, based on that information, this is, in my opinion, completely justified.
Okay, so you're saying with all the information, and it was very clear in the video what was being relayed on the 911 call was being relayed to the officers there. So you say that reasonable fear existed.
Yep, and you don't actually have to see the gun when you have that information. She obviously knows that the cops are chasing her. She knows that it's cops around them. Comply. If you don't comply and you make an affirmative movement, if just reaching down, you don't have to see it. That movement alone, in my mind, I'd say, shit, she's reaching for a gun. And by the time that gun is exposed, it could be too late for you or one of your partners. So once that affirmative movement is made inside that car, it's they did what they did and they responded correctly.
Fair enough. Let's see if our phone producer's working. Corey, we get safety swipe sorted out.
Safety swipe. Go ahead and say something.
Very low. I don't think he's coming through your board, Corey. I can hear him on the phone.
Okay, I'll get it sorted out.
I'll let you work on that, and we'll come back to that. Okay, so I think it was the right decision. I think that the officers had, plenty of items in this would lead an officer to believe that she's going to the back seat and she's not being compliant after all this wreck and guns in your face. 911 calls saying that you're going to have to kill me. I'm not going down alive. And then when she reaches into the back seat, I think it's reasonable to believe that she's reaching back there for nefarious means and that your life or your fellow officer's life could be in danger. So with that, good call. Remember, the first one's always the easiest one. Big Ron, let's go to case number 2.
Case number 2 coming up.
Sedan, unknown description, unknown color, driving highway speed. Service shortly. 205 4000 south. 205 4000 south. Color is not on site. She is on the homeowner who
also on Highway 10 between a 187 and 188.
I'm trapped in the car. I hit the wrong way. It's way behind me. Fuck.
Oh. I'm sure where he just crashed. Just west of Clear Lake.
We're gonna be eastbound lanes west of Clear Lake. They were stopped in the eastbound lanes as I was coming up.
Are we blocking any lanes?
Yeah, all of eastbound's gonna be blocked.
We're still 1032 traffic at 2110.
I'm gonna head that way also.
Copy 2110.
36 next out, get on call. Shout when you got a chance to.
Copy. Thanks on 624.
There's a signboard right above us. Can you put up the signboard?
Signboard.
Thank God, yes, it's flat.
One plate's gonna be Mary Yellow Nora 081.
All right, folks, there's your case number 2. Let's talk about this. Police officers in every state are allowed to disregard traffic laws, whether that's running through a stop sign, running through a red light, in emergency calls. That also goes with exceeding the speed limit. This state trooper out of Minnesota, was responding to a wrong-way driver on a highway. Now, this is considered an emergency situation, a life or death type of situation. We've all heard of a drunk driver going the wrong way on a freeway, causing head-on collisions and resulting in death. So this is absolutely an emergency call. So, but an officer can't run through a red light, can't run through a stop sign, and can't drive over the speed limit without exercising what the law calls, and they'll call it something different in each state, due care. Which means is if I'm steaming with lights and sirens, I'm going to a shooting call or a wrong way driver down the highway, and I come to a red light that I need to clear that red light. I don't care what color the light is. I just need to make sure that intersection is clear when I'm coming through. The average citizen who's just driving along, minding their own business, and you're flying through there at 190 miles an hour, and you don't say, hey, my lights and sirens on, you get out of my way, and you T-bone a family in that intersection, you're going to be culpable for that action as a police officer. Here's what we had here. We had a wrong way driver, emergency situation. This officer was going to that location that it was reported at a high rate of speed. Now, he knows that the wrong way driver is reported to be on the highway that he's currently on, coming at him, right? So he's trying to get there. What we're going to ask you tonight on this is, was his speed in his response to a wrong way driver, was it reasonable or not? Now, this did result in the death, and I don't know that they really put the collision as reason the elderly gentleman. Actually, let me back up and tell you. The wrong way driver wasn't a drunk driver. He was a man in his 70s, elderly man in his 70s, who was confused. What had happened in reality was that he had actually T-boned a couple of teenagers in a pickup truck, and that's where he was at when the troopers hit him, is that location. That hadn't been completely relayed to the officer that this vehicle was stopped yet, but this is what had happened. The officer comes in and actually impacts the wrong way driver's vehicle, who was stopped in the road, careens off of that and hits the teenagers who were standing outside of their vehicle looking at the damage like we all do when we have an accident. Both teenagers were severely injured. One is paralyzed and still fighting for recovery. At this time, this is a year. This happened a year ago, a little more than a year ago. The elderly gentleman died a few days later, subsequently of some injuries from the accident. I'm not sure if it was from the trooper hitting him or if it was from when he hit the two boys. So I appreciate the statutes coming up. We're not talking about statutes. We're talking about reasonableness here. So any portion of this we'd like to see again?
Yes, I would like to ask to see 10 seconds proceeding and also get some information on how fast he was traveling and what was the speed limit. I'd like to see if he was overrunning his headlights. It kind of came unexpectedly, so I blinked.
It was at 127 miles an hour.
Yeah, I like to see where the right before the accident, see where the car was or the vehicle. And I didn't even see the vehicle until like pretty much it was right on top.
122 miles an hour. You can see the speed in the left-hand side of the screen. 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 126. Top speed I saw was 127. Looks like 126 at impact.
So what was the initial call for him to be responding to?
Wrong way driver on a highway.
And the speed limit?
I'm not sure what the speed limit is. It's not near 125.
It's 70, that highway. But yeah, police pursuit.
Guys, we're going to deliberate. I'll put the clock up. Any portion of the video want to see again, or any questions? This is the evidentiary portion. We'll do the deliberations next. Any more questions or portions of the video we'd like to see again?
No, but that must have been scary as hell, don't you think?
Yeah, that was a scary ride. Let's put a clock up, Big Ron. Amy, I want to go to you first. You having commo issues? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I went into another phone, and so I'm here. I'm solid now. Yeah, no, I think that the rules were fine. I mean, I think it's I don't know. I think it was lawful. Yes. I think that's it. I don't. Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm asking. Let me make the question clear. We're asking, is it reasonable for the officer to respond to this call in this manner, and did he exercise due care? Now, due care doesn't mean you don't get into an accident. It just means that, yeah, you in other words, going through a red light's a good example. If you go through a red light, you don't tap your brakes. Yeah, that's probably not due care. You should tap your brakes. You should do a left and right before you hit that intersection, and probably slow down when you get through that intersection. Now, on the highway, maybe not. But an officer is still required to exercise due care when disregarding traffic laws and traffic control devices.
Okay, so maybe it was a little aggressive. However, I could see when the adrenaline runs, but he's also professional. He's a cop, and he's supposed to know that. But I don't. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't know right now because emotionally, I want to say like I know how he would feel, but then I also know it was a bit aggressive. But I don't
Is
know. Let me
there
listen to other
a
people.
statute or a defined
Policy?
Right. Yeah.
guidelines for when?
I've given you which I've asked you to decide.
That's it. Okay.
Did he exercise due care in response to this?
I don't
I'm
think
not
so.
quite sure yet, Joe. Just give me a few.
Okay, that's fine. Let's listen. You can listen to everyone else's opinions. Maybe they can convince you. Let's go to Steven next. What do you think, Steven? You're muted, my friend.
Sorry. I think he was negligent because he was pretty distracted with his computer monitor thing, and that's when he did not see that coming and going that speed. And it's an unfortunate situation, but that's I put it on the officer's fault, to be honest with you.
Okay, now hang on. I've seen a couple of comments. You guys say, "Hey, he's using a cell phone. He's using a computer." Is that not also something that a police officer has to do? I mean, you still have to exercise due care, but the fact that he's using his laptop and using his radio and using his phone, don't officers do that almost on every call?
Yeah, but going that speed, I would just use my radio, and I'm not going to get distracted with monitors and everything else to actually, especially going that speed. And I could be wrong, but yeah, that's on the officers, to be honest with you.
So you're saying you don't believe that the officer exercised some reasonable due care at traveling those speeds?
But I think the officer is at fault here.
Very good. Star, what do you think?
It's a difficult question. I know that my state police regularly travel over 110 on our 75-mile highway. I don't know if the dispatch updated through audio or the computer terminal about the crash incident and the people leaving the vehicle stopped in the middle of the road, or if he was still on the notion that there was an oncoming vehicle with expecting headlights pointed at him well in advance of this accident. So clearly, to me, it seems like he wasn't updated with the new information as it arrived, and I can't fault him for not knowing the evolving circumstances.
What about due care? Do you think he exercised due care for the public safety, disregarding traffic control devices and the speed limit?
I honestly think it probably falls within policy, but maybe 10 miles too fast.
Is there a policy that says you can only go this far over the speed limit?
I honestly don't know. I would think that the prosecutor would make that argument for us to.
Well, the law is going to say, and I haven't read the state Minnesota law, but I think it's pretty close to every state. The law is going to make a determination. If he exercised due care, then he has no culpability. If he did not exercise due care, he has culpability. And due care again is that you're aware that you're breaking the traffic laws, but you've got to do it safely so that you don't endanger innocent citizens that are out doing their everyday business.
And clearly he was trying to get there on time before an accident happened, and an accident did happen that he was trying to prevent. So he was exercising a dire need to save lives, and it's unfortunate that a second crash did take place.
Okay, so he's exercising dire need to save lives.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to Brian.
I think I was talking about that a little earlier, that I think 125, 128 miles an hour, I don't think how safely you can drive at that kind of speed, especially at nighttime, knowing that your vision isn't 100%. I just don't think that was due care. I think he didn't necessarily have to go 128. There's no way you can stop or address a car coming at you in that kind of speed. And we just saw what happened.
Okay. Mimi, what you cut on this?
Okay, so I look at his speed, Number one, he's on a freeway. Personally, I think the speed limit he was going was very excessive, but my thinking is he was trying to assess the danger ahead to save more lives, but he also had no incoming from 911 or anybody else that there had been an accident, that there were people on the side, like nothing. There was no response from anybody. He was basically going on a cop's basic instinct.
Let me ask you this: what was he doing on the computer?
I don't know. I mean, it was so fast that you have like no clue.
Modern dispatch. They may dispatch you over the radio, and they'll still put stuff out over the radio, but it'll come to your computer screen. Looks like that.
Right. But when
message.
you're going 130 miles an hour plus, you're not going to be able to read that screen. But there was no verbal communication from dispatch to him.
Okay, but did he exercise due care?
I think he did.
Okay. I want to go to our expert witness before we run out of time. Jason, as a police officer for over 9,000 years in Minnesota.
Jesus Christ.
Have you ever driven that fast?
Yes, I have.
Explain what Minnesota says about, or explain in your version what due care would be at driving those speeds, that you would be responsible as a police officer.
I think your example of the red light, it doesn't give you the green light to run red lights and put the public in danger. Due care refers to keeping the public safe as much as possible through your driving conduct. So does that answer your question? Are you considering the public safety for your driving behavior?
I tell you what, I think it answers as well as anybody can answer what due care means in this type of situation. But you know what? I think our jurors are locked. Let's get a verdict and then discuss it after. Maybe we can get our ghost juror back on the phone. But I'm going to come to you first, Stephen. Reasonable or not, his driving?
No.
Unreasonable. Star, reasonable or not, his driving?
I think at the standard we're using, I think it would be reasonable.
Reasonable. Mimi, reasonable or not?
Absolutely reasonable.
2-1. I got burden on Brian and Amy here. Brian, what's your vote?
Well, after what Jason was just speaking to, I guess you have to think in his position is reasonable.
Okay. Amy.
What?
What's your vote?
I know. Okay, so I guess I'll be the opposite. I'm going to say not reasonable.
Well, it's still going to be reasonable. 3-2.
I know.
3-2.
I just went with the crowd.
I tell you what, let's see. Do we have a call? Do we know if we got a call online, Big Ron? I'd like to hear from a ghost juror before we let Jason weigh in on this.
Last I heard, we did. Let's see. Let's see if we've got him live.
How about it, Corey? You with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Safety swipe. He has hung up. Put it in the back channel or whatnot. But he hung up. I think he had to take another call.
Okay. When you get another call on, we'll try that again. See if we can get that gear. Guys, this is a new feature that we're trying. Corey is actually a producer in Chicago who's running our phone line for us. So give us a little leadway on when the tech doesn't work. I want to go to you, Jason. And Corey, you be the ghost juror. What do you think about this video?
Well, yes, he was pretty much he was flying. It's a hard one for me because of the excess speed, but at the same time, he's running code and he's actually trying. I would think that he was trying to get to this other wrong way driver before he hit someone. So that's what I would think that he was trying to get to that scene before another loss of life or a loss of life was happening. And
so what you're saying is that he was going to a call that could have jeopardized in other people's lives. So he's getting there to stop that threat.
Yes, that's what I think. So it's hard for me, but I'm gonna say reasonable.
Okay, Jason, what do you think?
I'll put my lieutenant hat on here. If this case came to me, I'm going unreasonable. I really think, especially a wrong way driver going that fast, which is common, but another car is somewhere on this road going the direction that you're coming from, that you're going. I don't think he drove with due care at all. I really don't. That came up so fast. A lot of times I've been to calls like this, or I'll use the shoulder because I don't know where this guy is, so I'll drive on the shoulder, and I don't like it. I completely I don't think this guy is fit to be a cop, to be honest with you. He's going way too fast, too much going on in that car. I don't like it at all.
I agree with you. Here's the problem with due care. Due care is like unsafe speed. If you didn't wreck, then your speed must have been okay. If you did wreck, then you had unsafe speed. I think Steve is frozen. Big Ron, we can't maybe drop him and bring him back up, baptize him.
We've been working on it.
Okay, but for sure, I think he didn't exercise due care, and it's not the speed. It's not, for me. It's not the speed. It's not the using the laptop. It's not using the phone. Officers do this to every call, and driving that speed is not uncommon for police officers. But there's two variables I think that are ignored. If I've got a wrong way driver coming at me at highway speeds and I'm doing 127 miles an hour, then I get to multiply. I get to multiply those speeds together, and that's how fast we're closing distance. So if I'm getting into that area, I think you need to slow down. Now, if you've got some traveling time on a highway, in other words, I've got a call that is, could be 30 minutes away down a highway, then yeah, I can get up on that highway and I can cook it a little bit. But once I get close to the area where I think I'm going to have issues, that's when we need to slow it down a little bit. And I just don't think he did. I think that, and there's a lawsuit going. This officer, I'll give you the background. He is technically with the Minnesota State Police, but he's on some sort of workman's comp medical leave, probably because of this incident. Probably jacked him up pretty good. And then the family's got a lawsuit. I think the family's got a great lawsuit. I don't think he's a criminal, this officer, but like Jason, put your lieutenant hat on. It's like there's other work for you out there. Burger King's hiring. Do we get Steve back, or maybe we have to go just to audio with him? Maybe. I tell you what. Until then, let's run some promos. Let's talk about Range Minded, the Range Minded podcast, folks. One of our small content creators that we support. Let's run that video.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Range Minded podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Range Minded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Range Minded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things. There you can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range-minded. See you guys soon.
Yeah, folks, the Range Minded podcast puts out a weekly anything constitutional, individual freedom, and a lot of stuff with 2A and 2A legal matters that are going on. Great podcast. Support our friend. Go to his website, buy a patch, buy a sticker. He's got a lot of good stuff there. And the least and free thing that you can do is give him a follow everywhere that you see him. But the Range Minded podcast, anywhere you get your podcast, you'll find him there. We do support him. With that, we need to get on to case number 3. We're running short on time. Big Ron, run it.
It's a search warrant. A search warrant. Hey, stop talking long enough so you can listen. It's a search warrant.
Let me hold on. Let me come. I can hear you, sir.
Now I can hear you speak.
It is a search warrant. We will leave when it's over.
What y'all searching for?
What do you think we're searching for?
I don't think. I'm Homeland Security. I asked her.
I don't. Hey, listen. I don't have to answer the Homeland Security.
Y'all good people. Y'all good people. Next one. You be fired soon.
Maybe.
No, ain't no fucking maybe.
Maybe.
No fucking think it's a maybe.
Yep.
I promise y'all, you be fucking fired. I promise your motherfucking mama's daughter, her name is Doris Jackson. You be fucking fired. You unprofessional, bro.
Okay.
You can't.
How you doing?
You could start a fucking situation with me, bro.
Okay.
You could start a situation. These officers been good.
All right.
But you was sitting there clapping.
Yep.
You was instigating.
Yep.
You don't supposed to do that.
Okay. Get out of the road before you get hit.
I'm not worried about getting hit, bro.
Jesus Christ.
I'm in water.
Okay.
I'm blowing fucking guard.
Okay.
You don't believe it?
Get out of the road.
Hey, unlike y'all, that when y'all don't put it run me over. I'm talking about my mom. They were when y'all put it run me over. I'm an Indian too. Now bring it back here. Look at my tag. Why the fucking holes on my tag, bro? I mean, I don't call out. I'll write that.
What is this? That's cool. Tag? Yeah, for sure.
1983. Hey, how you doing? Hey, you, sir. You go off. Come here.
Come here, we can have a conversation. What's up, man?
Here. Run this code. I dealt with you before. I dealt with everyone from the black is good. Y'all good. Y'all good officers.
I appreciate that.
Yes, y'all good officers.
So
I
what?
dealt with officers all the time. With that, not good. How you doing, sir? They straight. I'm the problem. I'm the one that they called you about somebody. They called you about me.
Okay.
I work for the United States government.
I thought Galen
And
ran
that's
into that
motherfucker.
house.
Chucking them
'Cause as
motherfuckers is a fucking
he
problem.
jerked his car real hard.
Yeah.
And
So
right
you
when he
feel
did
like
it,
that
you
was
heard,
me.
boom!
Yeah,
I
you know
said,
what?
fucking
You
Galen
know what
hit
that
the
feels
house.
to say? After shoot, what can you do? If an attitude came to that fucking school, what you gonna do? If an attitude came to fucking school, what you gonna do? If an attitude came to fucking school, what you gonna do, motherfucker?
What do you want me to do?
Your fucking job.
I'm gonna do my job. Don't worry about it.
Dude, that's the fuck my fucking sentence means. I'll take you.
Okay. You been drinking today?
Don't worry what the fuck I've been doing.
Can I smell alcohol on you?
Fuck you.
Are you DUI right now?
Am I driving, bitch?
You were, yeah.
You stupid bitch.
Do you need to go to jail for DUI too?
No, I need to go to jail, kick your fucking ass. If I go to jail for any fucking thing,
All
I'll
right.
go to jail, kick your fucking ass.
Okay.
Take that fucking shovel. If
Okay.
you want me to fucking go to jail,
Last-
I'll go to jail,
hey,
kick your
hey.
fucking ass. Shut the fuck up.
Listen and get out of the road.
Fuck you. That's your fucking problem. Get that fuck off your fucking porch. You know, fuck y'all up.
Yeah, as soon as that
Shit.
mark unit clears
Get
up,
that
we'll
fuck
take
off
him.
your porch. I ain't got a fucking road. I pay my tax, motherfucking brown. I pay my motherfucking tax. Just like every fucking body else. Fuck you, man. I'm talking to Max about your fucking name. What's his fucking name? bet you had a fucking gun in your fucking butt. You're fucking black. You wouldn't be fucking big as bad, would you? You would. You can't go through like this to me, bro. All you had to do is fucking, let's pull the fuck up. You started. Only you. Only you. I'm telling that to you, man. The dog is good. The dog should be all over the fucking place. I don't think all over the place is your monkey ass. You monkey. You. You know what the fuck the police did for the black community all they fucking died? The black community. Y'all how you want to stand here? I know that's real. I'm gonna tell you some truth. Man, you better go home before you
Hey,
get shot.
come here, you're under arrest. Come here, you're under arrest.
Motherfucker.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Get the fuck off me. Dad. Dad. Back up.
Hang on, I got it.
You got what?
Let go. Hey, Wells.
David.
Wells, let go.
Watch out, he'll get bit. Calm, dude. Watch out, he'll get bit.
We're all here. What the fuck y'all fucking with me for? Leave me alone. What am I waiting for? Who bites me? 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 Someone bite me.
Quit fighting.
Someone bite me. The dog bite me.
Let go of my dog. 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 Stop fighting.
The dog got me.
We're gonna go this way.
Stop fighting. Hey, knock it off. Knock it
Stop
off.
fighting my dog.
Knock it off.
The dog bites me.
Knock it off.
Quit fighting.
Where my people at? Help me, my people.
Hey, put your
Help me, my
hand.
people.
Put
Help
your
me,
hand
my
behind
people.
your back.
Well, get me back. Get
Put
back
this
here.
hand behind your
Get back
back.
here. Get back here. Get back here, bro. Get back here. Get back here. Get back here, bro.
Put your hand behind
What
your
was
back.
y'all?
Put your hand behind your back.
I work for y'all. Get back. I work for y'all. I work for y'all, bro. Get back for me.
Turn. Which way?
Turn where y'all want. I'm not fighting just something. I'm gonna turn for y'all. Just come stop. Come stop, bro.
Turn. Hey.
I got it.
Hey.
Y'all relax. I'll
Turn
turn.
around.
If you relax, I'll turn.
Quit fighting. Turn around. Turn around. Turn. Turn to your stomach. Hey, turn to your stomach.
Where my people at?
Turn to your
Where
stomach.
my people at? Where my people at? Help me!
Turn to your
Help
stomach.
me! Help me! Help me! Where my people at?
Somebody go.
I gotta help me.
Put your hand behind your back.
I ain't doing nothing break the law. What law have I broke? What law have I broke? I'm homeland security, bro. I bet you had a fucking gun in your fucking butt. You're fucking black. You wouldn't be fucking big as bad, would you? You would. You didn't have to go through like this with me, bro. All you had to do was fucking let me pull the fuck up. You started me. Only you. Only you. I'm telling that to you, saying. The dog is good. The dog should be all over the fucking place. I don't think all over the place is your monkey ass. You monkey. You. And you know what the fucking the police did fucking the black community all they fucking time? The black community. Y'all you want to stay here. I know that's real.
Leave it.
This is true. Man, you better go home before you get shot.
Leave it. No. Sit. Hey, Alfaro, hold this. No. Watch me. Watch him. Watch him. Watch out, he'll get bit. Watch out, he'll get bit. Watch him, he'll get bit. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Watch out, Alfaro. Hold it. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him.
Who bites me? Who bites me? Somebody bite me.
Quit fighting. Quit fighting. Quit fighting. Let go of my dog. 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 Stop fighting. Stop fighting.
Hey, knock it off. Stop fighting. Knock it off.
Hey, man, y'all play.
There you go, folks. Case number 3. They used the dog. That's what we're trying to determine, was the use of the force of the dog, and the use of force in general was reasonable or not. Anybody have any questions or any portion of the video we'd like to see again? You muted, Steve.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I actually, it's a very clear case of disgruntled, a drug addict, a dopey person. I've dealt with these people quite a bit. And
let me ask you this. What evidence in the video showed that we were dealing with drugs?
The behavior, it's pretty obvious.
Okay.
I mean, you don't need to. You don't need to, like, any seasoned police officer out there doesn't need to understand it was like a behavior like that. It translates to somebody is actually in the right state of mind at that point, because these people actually, they're executing a search warrant on the other side of the road.
I tell you what, before you do that, let's reset the clock, Big Ron. Let's put it back up. Let's put us up a clock. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. Any reasonable person, any reasonable police officer that will look at that, and they're executing a search warrant on the other side of the road, and this guy just kept acting erratically, and which tells me he might have some sort of a connection with the dope guy on the other side. And he kept going in and like just kept provoking these police officers. The action is justified, and I'm gonna disclose one thing in this space. I've shot a guy in Fallujah 1 28 times. 3 hours later, that motherfucker, that terrorist, was still alive. So that tells you how much drugs affect tolerance.
But I kind of feel like you're using evidence that wasn't brought in. There was no evidence brought in that this person was on drugs or connected to the people at the search warrant.
You don't need to. You don't need to. You just have to. You need to use your like actual judgment at that point, because at that point that person is just basically kept provoking the situation, and at some point somebody need to step up and need to stop that. So
what's a law enforcement officer's job?
A law enforcement officer job is basically to stop provocation, but at some point they have to intervene in a situation like this.
But I mean, is a law enforcement's job, officer's job, to enforce the law, right? Or is it to stop provocation?
They have to enforce the law, but at the same time, if a provocation is going to intervene in their actual operation, they have to intervene in that particular situation. I could be wrong.
Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to put a pin in that. Let's come back around. I'm going to go to Mimi next. Mimi, what do you think about this?
This one, to me, is a double-edged sword. He was obviously under the influence of something, but I also look at the officer's perspective of 3 and 20. They can literally, within 3 seconds, come 20 feet at you. Although they were not provoked in that manner, that threat was still there. I could not figure out what the trigger was by seeing that video where the officer all of a sudden said, "You're under arrest," and that's when it escalated.
Okay. Star, what do you think?
I know that we're only supposed to comment on the video that we've seen. I know that there was an hour or more according to the clock in the corner, I think. But he was obstructing traffic, and that's what my understanding from what I watched, that he was being placed under arrest for constantly being in the street after asking to be cleared out of the street. And he was harassing and provoking them. I just don't do that. Don't talk to cops when they're busy.
Yeah,
And
you
Homeland
guys are
Security.
saying. Let me ask you this. So you guys are saying provoke and harass. Can a citizen provoke and harass a police officer?
He kept on entering the space. I do believe there's a courtesy rule or even a law of 20 or 30 feet.
No law. And I'll say this: law enforcement are the closest personification of the government that we all see every day. They have a gun and a badge. They represent the government. They enforce the government's laws. There are Supreme Court cases out there that literally say an officer cannot be offended because he represents the government. Citizens have the right to say whatever they would like to say to the government without repercussions.
It's more the furtive movements. He's dodging around. He's constantly sneaking up on them unexpectedly. We don't know if he's armed. He's coming within striking distance of a blade. I can understand the cop's concern in wanting to detain him, to at least search him, but he was advised to stay out of the road, stop blocking traffic. I don't know that the dog was necessary at the time, but Homeland Security should not be fighting dogs. And he had codes and everything.
And I don't believe that was Homeland Security. That was a SWAT team, a local agency there. There was no federal agency.
No, the gentleman was Homeland Security.
It was a sheriff department, but the most striking thing is the guy was getting apprehended, actually bit the dog. When the dog actually bit his leg, he went in and bit the dog on the dog's neck, and that's what is like one of the most striking thing. And that's an erratic behavior for me, at least.
Okay, I tell you what, Steve, I don't mean to cut you off, but we haven't heard from Brian or Amy. Let's go to Amy. Amy, what do you think?
Okay, so I watched this video and I'm trying to stay off of my triggered mind, and trying to just talk about the law. And so I think that the man was coming after the police officer over and over again. Back in the day, that shit wouldn't go on. We need to follow the law like the law used to be, but we don't anymore. We just let them harass the cops. So when the police officer does what he does, and then they attack the dog, that's a bite on a dog. That's a bite on a cop, because the dog is like essentially their team, their person, you know? So I think what he did was not enough, in my opinion. So I think it was fine. I think they should have done more, to be honest with you. Like that. It's just today's culture is like this, and we need to go back to broken glass. You know, it's like Rudy Giuliani put. Like we need to be more strict and put people in their place nowadays. Not saying like put them in their place like cops do or mean, but our laws need to be stricter. So I think what he did was fine.
So you would be okay if law enforcement, if someone's saying something that police officer disagreed with or finds offensive, that the police officer was able to use some force against that?
There was a lot more than just said. The white officer was targeted, you know, and the gentleman kept coming back. Do you know in 1980s that would never happen? Because I do believe that the police officers used overforce then. I do. I believe that they were on a high hill then. I do agree with that. There's a happy medium somewhere, but we have lost the plot of what's like police officers and society. There needs to be rules and regulations that people follow, and we have lost pretty much control of society as a whole, in my opinion. That's what I feel like.
So you think that we should have a law in general that says that I must respect a police officer?
I do. Yes, I do. Not respect. You don't have to like them, but you have to. There are laws for a reason. And when you don't follow them and you think you're better than the laws, then that's where the problem stands. And that's where society has weakened itself so much, to where they think that people can just, I watch so many videos of this, and whoever it is, but it's like we have to establish limits of the law. So I guess maybe I'm hoping answering your question. I don't mean abrasiveness, but the cop, he was coming after the cop over and over and over again. Like as a police officer, that's hard.
Hang on. You guys are saying he's coming after the cop. He was walking across the street in the neighborhood that he lived, talking.
But he kept coming back to the police officer. He kept walking back and saying, "I pay my taxes, bitch. I do this, bitch. I do this, bitch." So you keep once you walk away, leave. But see, I understand what you're saying, Joe. But on the other half,
Look, I'm running out of time. I hadn't even heard.
I get it. I'll leave it alone.
Let me get to Brian.
I got you. Thank you.
I'm saying, go ahead.
All right. So, seeing that the guy started to become more agitated, more aggressive, I think the law enforcement have the right to actually detain for their own safety in that situation. And as they had several orders, to get out of the middle of the street, be staying in the middle of the street, that gives them the right to, for his own safety, maybe other traffic that's occurring in the neighborhood, to at least detain him, remove him from that threat. And then if they feel that, they need to take a little bit further, then they have that ability to do it. That's just my position.
Okay, let's take a vote. Star, I'm coming to you first. Reasonable or not?
Are we asking reasonable arrest or reasonable dog bite?
Force.
Force of arrest, yes.
Mimi, your vote. Reasonable or not?
Yes.
Is Steve froze up? Steve back with us, Steve? Steve, your vote. Reasonable or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Brian, how say you, sir?
I say yes.
Amy, how say you?
I think but it's a yes. It's good.
Reasonable force. I'm going to go to Jason. Actually, I tell you what, is our ghost, Big Ron, do we still have a caller on the line?
I think we lost the last caller on the line. I'm talking to Corey right now. Go ahead and go to Jason.
All right. Well, don't let me lose a caller again. We get one, we'll bring them right in. And folks work with us on this new system. We're trying to get that folded in where it's seamless, but we do want callers to come in. Jason, what do you think about this one? I know that you've stood on a street like that in your time period.
It's interesting because if they're executing a search warrant and they have outer perimeter for the execution of it, there's more information they had there than shows in the video. I would actually, I would have taken him into custody a lot quicker than they did. I would not tolerate that crap. They gave him multiple chances and back and back and back. I would have placed him under arrest after one warning. And I agree with one of the jurors who was saying that we need to go back to old school policing, and welcome to 2026, folks. This is how cops are treated. This is how cops are responding. And the only way to get that back is for cops to step up to the plate. You 100% could have charged him with obstruction of justice after the verbal command was given. It wasn't about him being in the street. It was him being a piece of shit, interrupting the cops, and that dude should have been taken in custody on the second time he walked over and started yelling and confronting the officer. This pisses me off. I hate watching this shit.
I think I would have got him for pedestrian in the roadway the second time he come across the street with traffic flowing through. Actually, I don't have any. I personally don't have any issues with the force used there. I think that the dog bite doesn't look good, but I think in the law enforcement end of it, I think it is legal. But I will say this: that police officers represent the government. They cannot be offended. They cannot be harassed. Essentially, they can enforce the law. In this case, the law, in my opinion, wasn't the perimeter. They'd set up the perimeter. He didn't necessarily go through it. He maintained that perimeter on the edge of it, back and forth, and he was talking smack. But pedestrian in the roadway is 100% arrestable offense, and he could have done that a little bit sooner. So I'm okay with the force used on this one. I agree with the jury on it. And where are we at on time? Go ahead, Jason.
Sorry. I think the lunge at the officer where he got in his face and lunged at him, that's when, okay, you're done.
No, 100%. I think my paperwork would have said pedestrian in the roadway. It's so much easier.
35 minutes.
Okay, let's get on to what we're at. Case number 4. We're going to be cutting this. Let's get to case number 4 right now. Hang on. Do we have any call? Before we do, we have any callers on the line?
Sorry, Joe. I
No,
got compassionate about that.
lines are open. Feel free to call in.
All right, let's go to case 4.
On Thursday, May the 23rd, 2024, the Aurora Police Department SWAT team was assisting the Denver Police Department Fugitive Unit with surveillance of a suspect wanted on an active warrant out of Denver for attempted first-degree murder. The arrest warrant stemmed from May 5th, 2024, when the suspect was involved in a shooting near East 48th Avenue and Colorado Boulevard in Denver. The suspect was identified as 37-year-old Denver resident Kylan Aaron Lewis. According to the warrant, Lewis shot a 63-year-old man multiple times who was walking in the area. Thankfully, the victim survived. Fugitive teams from Denver and Aurora later learned that Lewis visited an apartment complex in the 300 block of South Ironton Street in Aurora. The teams conducted surveillance on Lewis over the course of 2 days, and the Aurora Police Department SWAT team was requested to assist with the arrest due to the high-risk nature of the warrant.
I'm telling you, dude! On the ground!
Here's a second perspective from another officer.
He's looking. Hands!
Again, on the left side of the screen, you can see Lewis bring his right hand back out in front of him, this time holding an object. Officer Deke fires a single shot. The object was later determined to be a cell phone. Following the shooting, SWAT team officers provided aid to Lewis until medical responders arrived at the scene. Lewis was taken to a nearby hospital, where he later died on Saturday, May the 25th, 2000.
Okay, folks, there's your case number 4. Another attempt to execute an arrest warrant. They mistake something in his hand to be a phone. He gets shot one time and dies. Any portion of this video we'd like to see again?
Nope. It's very clear, to be honest with you.
I tell you what, Steve, this is the portion where let's see if anybody else has any questions, and then we'll deliberate when the red clock comes up.
Hey,
Anybody?
Joe, did he have a? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did he have a gun in his hand or like?
Ultimately, he had a cell phone in his hand.
But he didn't. It was not fully exposed, so that's what they thought it was. Correct. I guess that's.
I didn't hear any testimony. The officers explicitly say they believed it to be a gun, but yes, they believed that he had a weapon in his hand.
Okay, thank you.
Was there dispatch leading up to saying an armed man or no?
He was wanted for a homicide using a firearm. He was the offense they were looking for him for was a violent offense with a firearm.
That happened this day?
No, a couple of days prior, in another jurisdiction. At this point, they just knew he visited an apartment complex there. They staked it out. They saw him come out. They go to make contact. He goes to his car, had one hand in his pocket, the other hand behind his back. He comes back around with the hand that's behind his back. It's got a cell phone in it, and he's shot one time. Tell you what, put up a clock, Big Ron. Let's deliberate. I want to go to Brian first. Brian, what do you think about this? But we just lost Brian. Starr, what do you think, sir?
Come back to me later.
Mimi, what do you think?
I'm back to his previous charge, why they had the warrant. You know, the hands moving, there's one in a pocket. That phone comes up very fast that you actually, I'm going to look at it in the officer's perspective. You don't know what he's pulling out. That was, to me, definitely a case of fuck around and find out. Sorry.
Well, And remember, we're asking you to decide: is it reasonable for the officer that shot to believe that himself or his other officers were in danger? That's really the question we're asking.
I think absolutely. Yes.
Okay, Brian, what do you think, sir?
Being why they're there, he murdered someone, which means he doesn't care about life, which means he's a threat to anybody. 2, he kept walking, was disregarding orders provided, and having a hand hidden. You never know what's going to be coming out. You don't wait to be shot. You defend yourself, and most likely the cop thought that was a threat, and he did what he needed to.
Okay, Steve, what do you think, sir? You with us, Steve? Steven?
Sorry. Absolutely justified. Yes.
You believe it's reasonable that the officer believed his cell phone to be a weapon?
Yep.
Okay. Where we at? Is it Amy? Amy, what do you think?
I guess I kind of agree with Brian, like with him walking away. He had already was supposedly killed somebody or murdered somebody, so he's walking away. And in my mind, I would be thinking he's thinking of ways to get out of this, which might have been the same thing. He was arrested. He had a warrant out for us. So I agree. It was good. It was fine. Yes, it was.
So now you guys take into consideration this is just a guy. He hasn't been found guilty of anything. He's wanted on a crime, but there are many people that are arrested and subsequently never convicted. He just walks out. Hang on. He just walks out in his point of view. He's walking out of an apartment complex and visiting a friend, and then people come around him. Police come around him, and he's kind of encountered at that point. And he's got a cell phone in his hand.
But it's not like he doesn't know that there's a warrant out for his arrest for supposedly whatever he was being accused of.
Well, hang on. There's no information in that video that said he was, 1, aware, and 2, that he was actually the one that did it. Just said that's what they were looking for him for.
I thought, and I apologize, I was in and out at the beginning because of audio, but I thought they said that he was he'd already murdered somebody, and that was a kind of a given,
he was wanted. He was wanted in connection to a murder that happened in Denver. This was another jurisdiction. Denver was there to execute this search warrant, and this local agency, I think Aurora, was there to assist.
Gotcha.
So the Aurora officers really had no connection to the crime whatsoever, other than a interagency assist.
I think the mindset's still the same, though. You go in a situation where someone's wanted in connection with the murder, you still have to take that as that person's dangerous. You don't know. You have to make sure that you're always cautious.
Okay. I mean, I just wanted to bring that up. I'm not trying to sway you guys either way, but I mean, in consideration, we're all convicted this guy. He had no due process whatsoever. Yeah. We don't know if he was truly involved in a murder, what the real case were to be on this one. Star, did you want to say something?
Yeah, so from what I saw in the video, he was backed up against a car, and he was raising at least one hand, and he had his hand on his phone, and these things happen, and police are trained for that. And this is very clear. It's during daytime, clear daylight conditions. I do believe the officer would have acted against policy and how fast he shot, and I would leave it to a jury to see all the facts.
So you would bill this case and let it go to a jury to sort it out?
I would argue for it. I might like to see the video again. I know we're running short on time, but it did seem like he was pretty mostly compliant, and so many people are in that same situation. It took very few seconds before they decided to shoot him.
The first view of this is actually the worst. You can't really see what the guy's doing. Can't see his right side of the body. But I think it gives you the time period. Pay attention how much time it is. This goes here. So he gets out. You see the subject there, but we're still, about 2 seconds into this whole thing? And there he's shot. And you see there the little white speck in front of him. That's the cell phone that's fallen from his right hand after being shot. So we're looking at how long in time? 3 seconds. This whole thing happened in 3 seconds.
I do believe that they didn't give enough time for commands to register and for him to comply with those commands.
So you think it was unreasonable? If you see the video now, you see he's coming up with the cell phone in his hand, just like I carried my phone. We've all carried our phones the same way.
Yeah, I can understand where having any object in hand can be considered threatening, but I do believe that this was excessive, and I would leave it to a trial.
Very good. Does anybody have a counter to Star there? Brian, you were leaning pretty heavy on reasonable. Do you think Star has a point on what he's saying that maybe it was a little quick?
I apologize. The audio wasn't working. What was his?
He says that believes the officer may be just a little too quick on the trigger. If he'd given another half second for the situation to develop, then the shooting wouldn't have occurred.
I can agree with that. I think there's been other situations where they've taken longer before pulling the trigger. So I think you got. I mean, sometimes it's in the moment. You see someone move, you see an object, you know you're there for someone that's possibly in a situation that aligns with the murder, the death of somebody. That all has to play in your mind. Justified? No. You get to see, did he feel like it was a gun? Or, and sometimes that isn't always justified.
Well, and remember, too, we're looking for, would a reasonable person believe that themselves or a third person could be in danger for serious bodily injury or death by the actions of the person who gets shot, right? The victim in this, we'll call him.
Yeah.
And so is it reasonable for the officer to believe that his life or his fellow officers' lives were in danger when he pulled the trigger?
I'm leaning no.
Okay.
And just the body language, too.
We're talking 3 seconds, man. How much can you really process in 3 seconds on body language? I mean, you can. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't know that I would rely upon that. It's also a startled American. He's just a citizen walking out to his car, and the government comes around him.
Oh, that's what I meant, is that he was standing upright and prone with raising his hands, and he wasn't leaning forward with his cell phone like a gun or a Pop-Tart. He looked like he was genuinely trying to comply.
Okay. Amy, I want to go to you. What do you think?
Yeah, I was
thinking, pause.
Somebody just left a message on the phone and said, was a phone in his hand actively when the police officers walked up? Obviously, you don't know that. We just have the video. I think he seemed very calm. Maybe not. Like my first gut reaction was what it was, but now I feel like it was very fast and quick to draw, because it's not like he pulled the phone out of nowhere. He had his phone in his hand from what I saw. So I'm kind of thinking it was too quick on the draw. Now I kind of changed my mind a little bit.
Okay. I believe the phone was either in his hand or it was in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any video of him actually walking up, because the body-worn camera is showing the interior of the vehicles officers are riding in. But it seems to me his hand was either in his back pocket. It was either in his hand, and his hand was behind his back, or he reached back and pulled his phone out of his back pocket at the time of the shot.
Well, that kind of makes a difference then, Joe. You know what I mean? Like if he pulled it from the back pocket, that's different than it appeared to me that his phone was in his hand, and you're just not going to hold a gun in your hand like what they said he would have had. It's just my opinion. So that makes a little bit of a difference, but I kind of still think the same thing. Yeah, I got it.
Brian, what do you got?
And the officer did give him several commands before then, correct?
There were commands, but remember, we're talking from exiting the vehicle to putting a shot through his chest, 3 seconds.
That's true.
Pretty quick. Hey, Stephen, with what everyone said, is that giving you any pause on your position?
No. Actually, I know that case very well in Colorado.
Do I get to call it?
Okay, hold up. Don't bring anything that's not presented here, please.
Yeah, I know that case very well, so I know exactly what happened over there, and I know the victim. I know the guy who was killed.
Okay,
so,
I'm asking you not to bring that in.
Yeah. So yeah, I already made my decision. It's a clean shot, and that's it.
Okay, let's go to a vote. Brian, did you have something to say before we go to a vote?
No, you go ahead.
I'm coming to you first then. Reasonable or not?
I'm going to say no.
1 for no. Mimi, reasonable or not?
Yes.
Tied up. Star, how did you land? Reasonable or not?
Unreasonable shooting.
2-1. Steven, which way you going?
Yeah, reasonable.
Okay, what are we, 2-2? Amy, tiebreaker. Amy, you with us?
Hello? Oh,
yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, we need you on this one. Reasonable or not? Amy? Amy? Folks, we really need her vote. We're tied. Amy, you with us? Amy?
Hello?
Yes, Amy, can you hear us? Amy? Big Ron, drop her down. Let's try to bring her back up. Amy, check. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. I don't think she can hear us, Big Ron.
Amy, can you hear me?
I can hear her tapping on her phone.
Yeah. StreamYard's been fighting us tonight, Joe, on a couple of these guests.
Yeah, I see that. Do we have a caller on the phone?
We do have a caller, and it is Four Corners.
Amy, can you hear us?
Let's bring the caller in. We'll let the caller make the final
Yeah.
decision on it. Oh, Amy, I need a vote. Reasonable or not?
I think it was. Oh, what do I say? It was reasonable, I guess. Yeah, it was reasonable. I'll go with that. I don't know what my phone keeps cutting out. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes.
No worries. So that's a split decision, reasonable force. Let's go to our ghost juror.
Oh.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very good. I would say unreasonable, saying that there was only 3 seconds to make that decision. It did appear that he had his hands going up and he was turned towards the officer. So I'm going to say unreasonable. I would have to see that in a regular jury.
Fair enough. And who is, give us your name there, ghost juror.
Yes, sir. This is Four Corners Report. My name is Rick.
Four Corners. Brother, I see you every week making comments and watching our show, so I want to give you a hearty thank you and appreciate you spending a Friday night with us, and thank you for your comment.
You
Big
bet,
Ron,
sir, and I'd like to be on the jury. I'll talk to you about that later on in the after party, and thanks to you guys and all the chat.
Boy, that's what I like to hear. Anybody would like to be a juror, I want to hear from you. Putting together a 5-panel every week is a chore, so anyone who's interested, get to me anyway. Smoke signals I'll take. Let's post a verdict that was a reasonable shoot by a thread. Is Jason still with us? We're popping in and out like a slot machine in here tonight.
No, I don't have Jason right now.
I tell you what, then where we at case number 5? Let's run it.
Good vibes in bar and grill.
Good, you said good vibes?
Yeah, just the one, yeah. So I'm gonna kill this bitch. I'm gonna kill this other dude who also was kind of like stopping me. So I'm gonna kill 2 people that did me wrong, right? Because they called the cops on me. They were trying to kill me. So
Okay.
I'm gonna kill 2 people. So anybody that tried to jump in.
You said 2118 West Buckingham?
Yeah, just the one.
Okay.
And when they call the cops when they come, right, tell them they must kill me. Because if they don't, I'm going to kill as many people as I can. So make sure they come in bulletproof, fucking light me up.
Okay, so what are you going to do to officers?
You said what?
What did you say about officers?
No, I said that when they come, make sure they kill me. So let them come full force do what I need to do, but a message has to be sent today,
Okay.
The world
Do you
has
have
to know
any
that
weapons on you?
racism is to end. You see what?
Do you have any weapons on you?
Oh, yeah, I've got a weapon on me. Yeah, definitely. Yes, I'm going to kill this.
Okay, what do you have on you?
I'm going to tell you. Let them come, they'll find out. But when they come, just let them know that it's going to be bloody. It's going to be bloody, and yeah. And he's what it is. I did everything the right way. My name is Stephen Quimby.
Hey, drop the knife!
Go!
Drop the knife!
Shoot!
Drop the knife!
I'm not gonna drop it.
53, I got him at gunpoint. He's got a knife in his right hand.
I'm not gonna drop it. Do it. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do.
Kawembe, drop the knife!
No. Do what you need to do.
Christian 1 at gunpoint, 24
Drop the knife. Do it now. Do what you need to do. Do it. Drop the knife. Do it now. I'm not.
Kawembe, we want to help you, but you need to drop that knife. And I need you to do it right now.
Stop walking. Sir, put the knife down. Put the knife down. Do it now.
Kawembe, stop!
Shoot me. Do it. Put the knife down. Watch your back drop. Do it. Just do it. I gave up on life. Do it. Stop. Just put it on the ground. We don't want to hurt you, dude. Do it. Put the knife on the ground, all right? Do it. Just put the knife down. Get down on your knees. No. All right. Do it.
Yeah.
Kill me. No, so we don't want to kill you. I want to die. We don't want to kill you.
Kawembe, stop!
Put it down. Just do it.
Stop!
Shots fired. Shots
Shots fired.
Subject
Suspect down.
I got it. Shots fired. Shots fired. Subject down. Hey! Here, get back here. Get back here.
Kawembe, put your arms out to your side!
We don't have to hurt you.
Kawembe, put your arms out!
So we don't have to hurt you. Put your arms out to the side, sir. Put your arms out. Put your arms out. Put your arms out.
I'm gonna hit him with less lethal.
Go ahead.
Less lethal, less lethal! Less lethal, less lethal!
Hey,
Put your arms out, put your arms out!
hey, put your arms out to the side, sir.
We want to help
Arms
you!
out to the side, sir.
Mercy.
Arms out to the side. We want to help you.
We wanna
don't
help
want
you.
to die, all right?
Sarge, they say we have a victim inside.
Okay.
I'm moving.
Send an RSVP page. Use my phone number as far as what we got.
Hey, is there somebody in here stabbed?
Yes, we got multiple.
Where? 53, we got several subjects stabbed inside. I need medical immediately.
There you go, folks. Your case number 5, a 911 call. Guy calls himself and says that, hey, I'm about to off these folks with a knife, and says send police. And then we saw that, and I believe we saw the second time that Harambe has been shot and killed. The guy's name was Harambe. Any portions of the video we'd like to see again? Any questions? That's what I thought. Big Ron, let's put up a clock, 10 minutes. Coming to you first, Steven. What do you think?
Clean shot. That guy was on a suicide mission.
But is that the reason we can use lethal force, is somebody wants to die?
Yeah. If you're gonna add a radical like that, and approaching police.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm gonna try to move fast on this, folks, because we're cutting it close on time. So let me ask you this: what about anything less lethal? They used less lethal once he was shot on the ground. Why did they try less lethal when he was at standoff?
Because police officers always use mostly lethal versus less lethal when somebody has an object in their hand. So, and I do not actually question that. And to be honest with you, I think it's a clean shot in my perspective. I'm not going to change my mind on that at all.
Okay, so you just don't care about Harambe. Is that what I'm hearing?
I was like, that guy was on a suicide mission. Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, Star, what do you think? Amy, what do you think?
I see this a lot, like whenever I watch these videos, and my mind tells me that lawfully they were good, they were okay. But I just imagine they have a hard time sleeping at night because the guy didn't have any. I didn't. Was there a knife in his hand? I didn't see one.
He did have a
So
knife, and there were two stabbing victims inside the bar.
okay, so then I changed my mind because he could have just slowly walking, but then that can speed up real quick in seconds. And then also there's two other people in the bar or wherever that they might have to save. So,
But also keep
I
in mind, officers outside at the time of the shooting did not know about the stabbing victims inside. It wasn't until
oh.
after he was shot. So that's not really a part that the officer had in their calculus to make the decision.
Okay, so even minus that, but I do realize that everything can change in a second. So the guy was walking slow, however, that can change in a second. You know, so I that was a good shot.
Okay, Brian,
Can
what
you
do
guys
you
hear
think?
me?
Well, being that he had a knife, disregarded commands, came within 21 feet, which I think was a justification to be able to shoot somebody if you have a knife, at least when in training for the police, I've heard. So I think with those two factors, the guy was not willing to stop. He'd already stated that he was there to cause harm, and he's expecting to be shot and killed. Police, stood their ground as well as they could. The guy kept on coming forward, so self-defense. It was justified.
Fair enough. Star, what do you think?
Yes, I think it's completely justified. You can hear me, right?
We've got you, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, great. I want to know which prosecutor is billing this and take their credentials away. This is a clean shoot, caught red-handed. He's armed. He's within blade striking distance. There's nothing wrong here.
No, and prosecutors will have to take deadly force situations in many cases and bring them before a grand jury so that the grand jury can determine the self-defense and the reasonableness of it. So that's kind of the point we're at now. Mimi, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that was definitely justified source, knowing the 9/11 calls that he made prior to coming out with it, brandishing a knife and continuing to come forward. I'll go back to, you can go 20 feet in 3 seconds.
So we're leaning on reasonable. Where we at? We have 6 minutes, less than 6 minutes, right, Big Ron? Tell you what,
That is correct.
Let's do a vote on this. Stephen, going to you first. Reasonable or not?
Yep, it is.
Reasonable. Brian, reasonable or not?
Reasonable.
Amy, how say you?
It's reasonable, but I'm surprised that Steven doesn't know about this case also. Just kidding.
We'll talk about that in the after party on what I had to do this week for cases, because typically you haven't seen any cases that I've had, but some difficulty
Right.
this week. So that's 3 for reasonable, I think where we're at. Star, what do you say?
Reasonable, no doubt.
Mimi, you're totally against this one. Go ahead and give us your verdict.
Yes, reasonable.
Reasonable. Let's put it up. Reasonable force. Jason, any comments on this one? Amy, you're going mad on that phone. We can hear you thumping away.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
it's gotta
sorry.
be
I'll
you.
mute it.
No, it's got to be you.
What am I doing? I'm just sitting here listening to you.
Jason, you with us? We don't have Jason?
You're picking on me.
I am picking on you. All right, folks, we have a grand jury after party on X Spaces. We'll get that distributed out. I've already dropped it in our group DM for our jurors. But what we do after the show is we bring in our jurors. We get a little looser of the talk. We can break down some more elements and talk about each one of the cases. Our jurors have first choice on mics and comments, kind of like co-host in the space. So we ask that you join us there and listen to a little more parts about the grand jury tonight. I also want to encourage you guys to join our Patreon group. We have a Patreon group there, and it's real small tiers, a $3 and a $5 tier. You can pick whichever one you want, but that does go to support the show. There is a cost of putting this together, and we do appreciate the support from our Patreon members, and there's some special perks, not as many as you think. That's mainly on me, but there is a surprise that's coming up at the end of this month for our Patreon viewers first, and then we'll let everyone else see that the grand jury is going live video end of the month. Myself and the rest of the cast, well, I say the rest of the cast, a couple of them for sure, will be on live video going forward at the end of this month. But join our Patreon group. You can scan the little pad or the QR code there, or you can just go to Patreon and look for Joe Lanou and join us. Join us in that community there. Keep up with everything grand jury and what's coming up new. And I will start putting out for our Patreon members. Each week I get a lot of cases that we can't use. They're so standard. They're so textbook. No one would confront them, but they're still interesting in a lot of different ways that we don't put onto the grand jury. Starting here after Memorial Day, I'm going to start loading all those into the Patreon group. You guys get those before anyone else does a 2-week look ahead on those. And we'll put those out every week. With my scrapers and my methods of grabbing videos, I get anywhere from 15 to 50 each week, and I only pick 5. So there's a whole treasure trove of videos out there that you may or may not have seen that you'll get access in our Patreon group. With that, I want to say thank you to our grand jurors. It's a big deal for these guys, folks. They put in a lot more time than just the 2 hours they spend here. We ask they come in 30 minutes early, and we're bothering them all week and pestering them to be on this show. We appreciate you guys spending a Friday night doing that with us. We couldn't do it without our jurors. Also couldn't do it without Big Ron, our host, and Bruce Wayne, who takes care of a lot of the back end stuff. And I also want to say something to our friend Corey. Corey's the name behind the Ghost Juror. He's got a podcast out. Corey, do you want to talk about your podcast real quick? We got about a minute you can do that with.
Thank you. Yes, I would like for y'all to check in. I usually talk about political issues, issues that surround a certain community, and stuff that hopefully I can make you laugh. I can make you laugh at a lot of stuff. Tell my dirty jokes, my live jokes. I haven't been on in the past couple of weeks. I've been very busy. I had union business stuff to attend to, but I will be on tomorrow evening. I will be on here, and I'll probably pour you up some whiskey or your drink of choice, light you up a cigar, and come laugh with me.
Yeah, absolutely, folks. Catch the Red Hill podcast with Corey. It's real interesting, great conversation, and he does dive into some good topics. And not to mention, he is our phone operator on the grand jury. We appreciate you, Corey. Jason, I don't have long, my friend. Now, folks, we normally run a promo on Jason's 3D response system. We'll talk about it in the space again. If you haven't heard about it, you need to look up 3dresponse.com. Go to 3dresponse.com, spend 15 minutes there, watch some videos, and you'll understand what the rest of us understand, that his 3D response safety system is the answer to school shootings. It is the answer to keep your children safe. Taking guns and wishing things don't happen, that hasn't worked out for the last 30 years, but 3D response will work, and it's already working in more than 20 schools. But Jason, any final words before we get out of here? I think he's been having some communication issue. All right, folks, that is the end of our program. We'll see you in the after party. Give us about 20 minutes, fresh drink, stretch our legs, and get something to eat. And we'll break down these cases, and we'll talk a little smack about what our jurors may have done right and what our jurors may have done wrong. Great show. I appreciate everyone and appreciate our viewers spending your Friday night with us.
An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.